Good morning, fourth grade, and welcome back to music class. This week, we're going to continue with the ideas of protest music that we talked about last week by looking at a song that you know really well because you sang it as part of your spring concert. It's called We Shall Overcome. When we were preparing to sing this song for our concert, I read a book for you called We Shall Overcome, the Story of a Song. And we talked about that history. We're going to read this book again to remind ourselves of why this song is important and why this song became a protest song. Then I'm going to share with you a video of you guys, the fourth graders, singing this song at your concert so you can sing along and remind yourself how it goes. And then I'm going to show you our wrap-up, which includes your exit ticket and Flipgrid video so you know how to complete your assignment. We have two goals for today. The first is I can describe the history of the song We Shall Overcome, and the second, which should be easy, is I can sing We Shall Overcome, because you already know it. So as I said, I'm going to read this book for you, We Shall Overcome, the Story of a Song, again. So make sure you're listening and following along as we review the history of this amazing protest song. We Shall Overcome, the Story of a Song, written by Debbie Levy, illustrated by Vanessa Brantley Newton. We shall overcome, we shall overcome, we shall overcome someday. Back in slavery times, when enslaved people worked long days with no pay and no say, no freedom, no fairness, no choice, and no chance, the people sang. They suffered, yet they sang, to soothe the hurt, to fight the cruelty, to declare that, yes, they were human beings. I'll be alright, I'll be alright, I'll be alright someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe that I'll be alright someday. It took a war, the Civil War, to end slavery. But even after, white people treated black people as less than fully human, excluding them, ignoring them, blaming them, even attacking them, all because of the color of their skin. Black people were no longer slaves, it was true, but they were not truly free. Still they believed things would get better. Still they sang. I'll overcome someday. I'll overcome someday. If in my heart I do not yield, I'll overcome someday. It wasn't easy to believe. It wasn't easy when white people shut out African Americans from good jobs and good pay, schools and libraries and neighborhoods, restaurants and hotels and bathrooms, train cars and bus seats, playgrounds and parks. But black Americans and some white Americans did believe they could overcome the unfairness, hate, and violence. They started to protest. They brought a church song, I Will Overcome, to the streets. But since they were marching and working together, they sang, We will overcome. We together will overcome. We will overcome. We will overcome. We will overcome someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we will overcome. From the streets, the song reached the ears of city people, country people, followers, and leaders. It reached Martin Luther King, the most important leader working for justice for African Americans. He took the song with him in his heart everywhere he traveled. The words changed a little, but the spirit stayed the same. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday. There were many forms of race hatred and many ways to fight it. Some students fought by sitting down in restaurants and asking to be served. They didn't ask for free food. They didn't want special service. They just wanted to buy a meal like any white person could. The students sat and sat, waiting for hamburgers, donuts, and sodas that never came. The students sat and waited until they were arrested, and as they were taken away to jail, they sang, "We are not afraid. We are not afraid. We are not afraid today. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday." More and more people decided to stand up for rights for African Americans. One small group, the Freedom Singers, traveled 50,000 miles in 9 months to living rooms, concert halls, elementary schools, jails, high schools, and rallies, bringing We Shall Overcome to people in 40 states, inspiring them to believe that change was coming. We are not alone. We are not alone. We are not alone today. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday. The biggest gathering of people united in support of fairness for African Americans took place in the nation's capital. Marching toward the Lincoln Memorial, hundreds of thousands of people, black and white and young and old, joined hands, joined voices, and sang, "We'll walk hand in hand. We'll walk hand in hand. We'll walk hand in hand someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday." Slowly, slowly, things were changing. Laws were passed, but race hatred stayed strong, even stronger than laws. So President Lyndon Johnson gave a speech. His ancestors once held slaves in Texas and Georgia, but President Johnson looked out at the millions of people watching him on television, spoke of equal rights, human rights, and voting rights for African Americans, and recited the words of the song. We must overcome the crippling legacy of bigotry and injustice, and we shall overcome. How could such a song stay in one country? It could not. We Shall Overcome sailed across the oceans to other countries where people faced injustice. It traveled to South America, where black Africans embraced it as their own freedom song in their long struggle against an all-white government that treated them as outcasts in their own land. Black and white together, black and white together, black and white together someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe The song traveled to India, East Germany, South Korea, Czechoslovakia, Northern Ireland, Bangladesh, China, the Middle East, South America, wherever people worked for a better life. We will live in peace. We will live in peace. We will live in peace someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday. Even as it spread across the globe, the song never really left its American home. It took a very long time, but race hatred did grow weaker. Freedom grew stronger. President Lyndon Johnson was followed by another president and another, and another, and another, and another, and another, and then the people of the United States, black and white and young and old, elected an African American man to be their president. On that day, people sang a song that so many voices had sung before, in pain and in protest. On that day, they sang happiness. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday. Today, people still struggle against hatred and for freedom, against poverty and for fairness, against despair and for hope. We still sing. We sing to declare that yes, we are all human beings, deserving respect, sharing the same planet, the same future, together. I hope you were listening and were learning as you reviewed the history of We Shall Overcome. Because you guys already sang it, I don't need to reteach the song to you. You already know it. However, if you forget or if you need some review, I'm going to put a link to a video where I'm reviewing how to sing the song as part of your exit ticket. And I'll show that to you in case you need to review how the song goes. Right now, though, I'm going to share with you a video of you guys singing this song in our concert so that you can sing along. I have put the lyrics down on the screen, at the bottom of the screen, so make sure that you are singing along with me and yourselves as we watch you singing We Shall Overcome.
We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe.
You guys did an awesome job singing during your concert, and I hope that you were just doing an awesome job singing along with yourself. Now I'm going to show you your exit ticket and your Flipgrid video assignment so you can complete your music work for this week. Let's start by looking at your exit ticket. So here we have our assignment page. It says, hello, fourth graders. This week we're reviewing the history of the song We Shall Overcome and why it's an important protest song. You already are watching lesson video, that's what you're doing now, so that means the next thing is your exit ticket. Complete your exit ticket by clicking on the link to the fourth grade We Shall Overcome Week 1 exit ticket here. I'll click on that link. So here is your exit ticket. In order to complete your exit ticket, you have to answer all the questions. So it says, write your name below. I'll put Mr. Potter. Then it says, if you haven't already, watch my lesson video below. You're doing that now, so we can skip that. If you forgot how to sing We Shall Overcome, watch this video. If you need a review, or maybe you forgot, maybe you just need a review, you weren't there, click here to sing along with me as we review how to sing We Shall Overcome. Then there are some questions to answer. What's something you learned about the history of the song We Shall Overcome? So I'm going to put an answer. I can say, I learned that We Shall Overcome was sung in church. You could put something different. What was something you took away from when we read the book together, We Shall Overcome? Then I asked this question, what's your favorite verse of We Shall Overcome? I put the 4 verses that we sang in our concert, so you can pick the one that you think is your favorite. So I'm going to say We Are Not Afraid. I think that one's my favorite. Then I asked, why did you pick that verse? So I could say, I picked that verse because I think no one should have to feel afraid. And obviously your answer is going to be different. Then one last question. Do you think the people protesting the death of George Floyd should sing We Shall Overcome? Why or why not? So you could start your answer, I think they should sing it because... Or you could say, I think they should not sing it because... And I'm going to let you come up with your own answer there. I want to know what you think. Do you think they should sing it? This song was used in previous protests. Should it be used in this protest as well? Then make sure you click the Submit button to submit your exit ticket. Once you see this page, you are all set. It says your exit ticket has been recorded. Make sure you also submit a video on Flipgrid. Click here to go to the Flipgrid assignment. So I'm going to click there. It takes me to Flipgrid. I can click Login with Google. I see my own name here. This is my account, but if not, use your NYC Students account. Enter that information in. And here we are, 4th grade PS91 music. Your assignment for this week, record a video where you sing your favorite verse of We Shall Overcome. Start recording your video by pressing the green plus button. If you need help, click on my face and I'll tell you the instructions. So I could click here to start recording that video. And I've showed you how to do that before. If you need help, just let me know. If you need help getting into Flipgrid, let me know. I'm happy to meet with you. Once you're done, you can go back over here. We've done our exit ticket, done our Flipgrid video, so we can click Mark as Done. Now let's go back over to our assignment, our lesson. So we've done both those things. Make sure you do those now before you forget. But now we'll sing our goodbye song. Ready? 1, 2, ready, sing. Now it's time to go. We've been singing and playing all the day. Until tomorrow we must say. Now it's time to go. Bye-bye. I look forward to reading your exit tickets and watching your videos.